Are you looking for the best exercise bikes? In this video, we will look at some of the 5 best exercise bikes on the market. Before we get started with our video,
we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range.
Starting at number 1. Schwinn IC3 Indoor Cycling Bike. This Schwinn exercise bike is similar to the IC4, but it uses a flywheel instead of magnetic resistance. Because of this, I've found the ride not quite as smooth as the IC4, but you're looking for an affordable entry-level bike. It's hard to find a better value pick than the IC3. It also comes recommended by our senior rider Liza Corsillo, who bought the IC3 during the height of the pandemic after canceling her gym membership. She considered the IC4 and says that this model is more bare bones, but for her and her husband, the extra features were not worth the extra $300, she says. Like the IC4, the IC3 has double-sided pedals so you can use sneakers or clips, and it's fully adjustable. Corsillo says it's louder than the IC4, but not so loud that it's a distraction. She adds that she likes the feedback of the slight whirring sound it makes when you really push yourself. It doesn't have Bluetooth, which means you can't connect your phone to it, so if you're trying to dial in a specific resistance, rather than going off feel, you might want to consider a different model like the Stages or Peloton bikes below. In general, this isn't a great bike for serious cyclists who want to track their stats. But as someone who just discovered Peloton and indoor cycling in general, I've found it to be a game changer, Corsillo adds. Whether I'm biking to an episode of Bridgerton or to a 20-minute Beyoncé ride, I still end up working up a good sweat and having a pretty good time. When it comes to value, artist Andrew Quist says it's the best investment he's made in exercise equipment. $700 seems like the challenge, but the challenge is actually getting on that thing. I know a lot of my friends who have it, and it just sits there, but it is possibly the easiest way in New York City to get a real deal workout, he says. You can use it casually, too, and you don't have to leave your house. Number 2. Original Peloton Bike. These days, Peloton is all but synonymous with at-home cycling, and for those who want to get in depth about their stats, as well as have access to guided workouts, it's hard to do much better. But heads up, the purchase of the bike doesn't include the monthly membership to its app. That costs an additional $39 a month, and is a must-have if you're trying to make the most of your Peloton. And for those who have an older model, the company offers a free replacement seat post. Brooklyn-based cyclist and filmmaker Jacob Krupnik, who has been using his Peloton bike since 2019, is always looking for ways to keep cycling in the winter, and the Peloton has filled that gap for him. I ride outside most of the year and only pay for membership from late October until April, when the New York weather is pretty shifty, he says. Krupnik especially likes Peloton's encouraging instructor program. You quickly find the instructors who seduce you with their X-ray eyes and bionic physiques and boundless optimism, and off you go. It's easy to onboard, it's easy to feel positive, and it's lovely to reduce the commute to exercise places down to 0. Krupnik has noticed that the bike's resistance and output settings have become less accurate over the years. He says he's always riding more heavily than the instructors call for, but has yet to recalibrate the bike. Stephen Pennington, a home fitness enthusiast based in Dayton, Ohio, has logged hundreds of rides on his original Peloton bike since 2017, with no mechanical issues. He says Peloton's cast of instructors has made the investment worth it. Personal trainers on other apps and devices drive me nuts, because I feel like there's an inauthenticity to them. The Peloton instructors are incredibly great to listen to and motivating. I can't think of a single one of them that I wouldn't take a class from. Number 3. Peloton Bike Plus. If you're willing to splurge a little more, consider Peloton's Bike Plus, which is designed specifically to sync to classes. It features a large 23.8-inch anti-reflective screen that rotates 360 degrees, allowing you to follow along with workouts off the bike. Automatic resistance adjustments, instead of manually, that match your instructors, and full integration with the Apple Watch. If you plan on taking fitness classes frequently, the Bike Plus' features make it a worthy investment. Number 4. Schwinn AD6 Airdyne Exercise Bike. Old school, wind-powered air bikes with handles are simple to use, easy to set up, and have no motor that could potentially break down, making them a valuable addition to any home gym. They were originally popular in the 1970s and 80s, are having a comeback, according to Nick Clayton, personal training program manager at the National Strength and Conditioning Association. You're biking and pushing and pulling at the same time, so it's low impact, but as far as working muscles and getting the most out of any kind of interval session, it's probably the best bang for your buck, he says. Number 5. Wahoo Fitness Kickr Core Bike Trainer. With a stationary bike trainer, you can use the bike you already have for indoor training and get the same feeling riding it. When strategist tech writer Jordan McMahon moved from California to Arizona, he was looking for a way to keep his cycling momentum going without spending too much time riding in the hot sun. A lot of his peers in the cycling community recommended this option. Compared to the stationary bikes on this list, setting up the Kickr Core is a little more hands-on, and according to McMahon, you'll need to buy a chain whip and cassette tool to attach your bike to the trainer, but it only takes about 15 minutes from start to finish. After that, you sync it with Wahoo's app to control the resistance. You can pair it with third-party workout services like Zwift, the one he uses, to do guided workouts, and it'll even automatically adjust the trainer's resistance to match the workout you chose, McMahon says. Those features make it similar to a regular trainer, but with the smarts of a Peloton, he says. Unlike a Peloton or Schwinn, when you're not using the bike, you can roll your bike back on the Kickr to prop it against a wall and make some space on your floor, sort of like a makeshift bike stand,